Good morning, I'm Charlotte. Welcome to Wake Up Well this morning. I wonder how you are feeling this morning after Boris's announcement yesterday. I know many people that have spent these last few days in anticipation of yesterday, reflecting back to last time Boris made such an announcement, back in March when we didn't know what really was to come. And I know people that have pondered what happened, how we coped, how we rallied together, and have begun to wonder what of that might we pick up again now and take with us through winter. I'm sure you'll agree with me that one of the most iconic things that came out of our lockdown before was the sign of the rainbow that many people decorated their windows with. It was a small symbol, a small thing to do to cheer us up, to offer a sign of hope and just a glimmer of positivity in a world that was so unknown. Why do rainbows offer such a sign of hope? Well, actually, it all stems back to the Bible and the story of Noah. Here's what happened. God has made the world and everything in it, but people have turned away from God. And so God decides he's going to send a flood over all of the earth. But he looks amongst the people and he spots Noah, the only person who has stayed righteous. And he tells Noah to build an ark for him and all of his family and all of the animals, and to board the ark whilst God sends this flood. And so that's what happens. And then as the flood recedes, God makes a promise to Noah and all people, including us. And as a sign of that promise that God makes, God sends a rainbow. It's a sign of God's promise. That's why it offers us such hope today. And the passage we're going to look at in just a moment is part of the promise that God makes to us. And so here's the passage. It's Genesis 8 from verse 20. And it says this: Then Noah built an altar to the Lord, and there he sacrificed as burnt offerings the animals and birds that had been approved for that purpose. And the Lord was pleased with the aroma of the sacrifice and said to himself, I will never again curse the ground because of the human race, even though everything they think or imagine is bent towards evil from childhood. I will never again destroy all living things. As long as the earth remains, there will be planting and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night. Then God blessed Noah and his sons and told them, Be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth, all the animals of the earth, all the birds of the sky, all the small animals that scurry along the ground, and all the fish in the sea will look on you with fear and terror. I have placed them in your power. I have given them to you for food, just as I have given you grain and vegetables. That's the promise that God makes to us through Noah. And God is saying that even though we're human, and even though we walk down bent paths, it's just what we do as humans. Actually, God is gracious and loving towards us. He wants us to be fruitful. He gives us so much, and he wants us to look after that which he has given us. And this week, as we think about harvest, that's exactly what harvest is all about, actually. It's about a life of abundance through what God has given us. All of the things in this passage, seasons, food, and a command to reign with love on this earth. But what I love about this passage, as I was reading it, is how it starts. It starts with Noah giving an offering to God. And I love what Noah offers to God. It says, Noah built an altar to the Lord, and there he sacrificed as burnt offerings the animals and birds. And later on, when God tells us what he gives to us, God gives us the animals and birds. And so actually Noah is giving back to God what is God's. That is his offering of worship and love to God. And that is also what harvest is all about. And so harvest is about an abundance. It's about remembering all that God has given us. It's about giving back to God some of what God has given us through his love. And it's about doing so in order to please God. Because this is what it says, when Noah gives that offering. It says, and the Lord was pleased with the aroma of the sacrifice. So let's be thankful this harvest. Let's remember what God has given us. Let's give back to God. Perhaps give to the food bank like we've been encouraging people to do this week. And let's do so because it pleases our Heavenly Father.